This marks the beginning of a battle that will tear apart the very fabric of reality itself. But before it begins, we must acknowledge the events that have led up to this moment. Goku and Vegeta, in an unprecedented display of power, engaged in a fierce battle against their Saiyan brother Broly. The two fused together to create one of the strongest warriors the universe had ever seen. They managed to defeat Broly, but instead of ending the fight with bloodshed, they spared his life. Goku, with his pure heart, was able to see the goodness within Broly. This act of mercy led to a unique bond between them, and Broly became somewhat of a friend, indebted to Goku. After this brutal battle, Universe 7 enjoyed a period of relative peace. However, an event from the past is about to change the future. Android 17, unaware of the consequences of his kind actions, stands with his family, watching the sunset. Meanwhile, on planet Sadala in Universe 6, Lord Champa is taking a nap, only to be disturbed by Caulifla, who pesters him to teach her some secret techniques so she can destroy planets. Suddenly, an earthquake strikes, waking the fat cat from his slumber. Why is Beerus in this universe? Champa wonders, suspecting that the source of the commotion might be Beerus, as he senses his energy. Caulifla, excited upon realizing that it's Beerus' energy, transforms into a Super Saiyan. She eagerly demands that Champa teach her how to harness this power, vowing to take revenge on Goku. At the same time, in Universe 11, we see Toppo kneeling before Lord Belmod as he enters his palace. But suddenly, the same roaring earthquake echoes through Universe 11. Both are astonished by Goku's immense energy, which knocks a teapot off the table. The angel comments that it seems like they are above the universe. Finally, in Universe 7, a massive storm hits the Earth, a result of Goku's overwhelming power. Officer Krillin saves a school bus and calmly instructs the students to exit without panic. Deep down, Krillin believes that Goku has gone too far in his thirst for power, as the Earth is now suffering collateral damage from his immense energy. We finally see Goku, surrounded by a massive aura, with Beerus on the opposite side, also emitting a huge aura. Goku is undergoing his final test to reach the power of the gods. His determination in this training is stronger than ever before. This training, high in the sky against Beerus at his full strength, is on a level comparable to fighting the strongest beings in the universe all at once. This training will cause him more pain than ever before, but it will push him to achieve a level of power that even the gods and mortals never thought possible. Imagine that Goku's terrifying power can be felt across all universes, causing the inhabitants of these universes to tremble in fear. On the other side, Beerus sends earthquakes across time and space, matching Goku's energy. On Beerus' planet, Whis senses something growing, something wrong happening in this battle between the two. His staff begins to ring. It's the Grand Kai who's calling him. "Hello, Mr. Whis. I apologize for disturbing you, but the entire universe is shaking. Is there a problem?" Whis responds that what he is witnessing is the peak of Son Goku's training. We then see a picture of Goku himself marveling at the level of Ultra Instinct he has reached. Beerus tests him immediately, sending a terrifying beam toward him, but Goku manages to dodge it, and the beam strikes a nearby planet, splitting it in half. Goku retaliates with a beam of equal strength, and the scene repeats itself as they exchange blows, each punch destroying any nearby planets. It's a battle that could be described as nuclear. Goku ducks under the cat strike and attempts a swift counterattack, but Beerus dodges and kicks Goku in the back of the neck, causing damage that can be seen in Goku's eyes, which momentarily lose sight. Despite this, Goku manages to rebound and flies away to create some distance, allowing him to unleash energy blasts that Beerus reflects back using a strange technique we've never seen before. The reflection causes a massive explosion, and from within the smoke, Goku emerges behind Beerus. The cat is surprised that Goku is unharmed, and before he can react, the Saiyan launches a large energy blast that destroys the moon in front of them, but Beerus is nowhere to be found. Suddenly, we see him falling toward a planet, destroying its upper half due to the impact. In the blink of an eye, with an incomprehensible speed, Beerus grabs Goku's face and prepares a Hakai ball in his other hand, pushing it toward Goku's face to erase him from existence. But somehow, the Saiyan escapes the god's grasp, "Stop running away! It doesn't suit you," Beerus says as we see Goku flying away in the universe. Beerus continues to chase Goku between planets, and each time they land on one, Beerus destroys it, while Goku tries his best not to disturb the life on those planets. But a battle of this magnitude is impossible to fight without relative sacrifices. Beerus finally manages to grab Goku's leg and throws him flying into space. But notice how violently Beerus threw Goku. If it were any other being besides Goku, they would have been torn to pieces. And guys, notice the art. It looks amazing, and we can't overlook how great it is. Beerus's throw of Goku tore through the solar system, creating a radiant halo of light across the entire galaxy. In the end, the Saiyan landed on a planet called Takutaku, a planet teeming with life and inhabitants. The people of the planet noticed a rapidly increasing light until Goku fell before them, creating a large crater from the impact, embedding himself into the ground as if he were a planted seed. His face was bruised, smoke billowed from him, and he appeared completely unconscious. While on this planet, all its inhabitants were in grave danger as Beerus would not hesitate or hold back. Indeed, above planet Takutaku, Beerus stood, having prepared a large energy ball that would undoubtedly obliterate the entire planet. The reflection of the ball looks like a sun, woke Goku from his unconsciousness. Realizing he was about to be responsible for the annihilation of an entire planet, he warned a creature who was nearby to back away and escape. Goku returned to his Ultra Instinct form, and we see a shot of the two warriors staring at each other. Goku quickly flew into space, questioning in his mind, "Why would you doom an entire race, Lord Beerus?" But then he noticed something clinging to his leg. Oh my, it was the creature he had just advised to flee, now holding onto his leg as he flew. "Be ready," Beerus said, preparing to unleash his attack without any concern for the planet below. Goku, standing on the planet, pondered his next move. He couldn't dodge the attack as long as the creature was hindering his movement. Beerus unleashed his devastating attack toward Goku, its range extending far beyond the planet. We can see how tiny the planet appeared, compared to the vastness of the unleashed attack. Beerus's attack shook the universes as everyone could sense his pure destructive intent. Back on Beerus's planet, the Oracle Fish remarked that these two were truly amazing, while Whis expressed concern, wondering if he should intervene in their battle. The Oracle Fish, having fallen asleep, muttered in its sleep that the other universes would be the cause of everyone's demise, leaving Whis puzzled as he wondered if it was related to the ongoing battle. On Earth, Mr. Satan rejoiced that the earthquake had stopped, while Majin Buu, as usual, thought about food. Capsule houses were half destroyed due to Goku's battle, so Chi-Chi and Videl were obligated to cook outside. We see Chi-Chi upset and wondering if Goku would come home. Videl reassured her that he would come to see his son, Gohan. And, speaking of the devil, Gohan makes his first appearance alongside Piccolo, seemingly observing the battle from afar. Gohan mentioned that he needed to return to training as he never knew when a new threat might emerge. Piccolo was pleased, but inquired about his studies and other responsibilities. Gohan assured him that he would handle it, and the scene shifted to a new planet. On planet Baishin, a planet with gravity 2,000 times Earth, Vegeta flew at an incredible speed, destroying mountains and toppling cliffs along the way. "Damn it, I'm not improving," Vegeta said, stopping mid-flight. "Damn it, all this training has become useless," he added. Amidst all these events, the battle between Lord Beerus and the Saiyan Goku was still raging on. As we know, Beerus had sent a final energy blast, which we were almost certain had annihilated Goku and planet Takutaku. But to our surprise, in one of the most terrifying moments in Dragon Ball history, Goku took the full brunt of Beerus's wrath. The skin on his back and legs was completely burned off, leaving only the muscles and tendons visible, yet he remained standing tall and had protected the small child from the destructive Hakai blast. Goku, stammering, addressed Beerus. "Lord Beerus, without my intervention, an entire civilization would have been wiped out by your hands." Beerus smiled and replied, "I believe I'm just doing my job." We then see a look of anger on Goku's face. Goku reassured the child that everything would be okay, while we see a remaining energy shield surrounding the child, formed by Goku's energy. Goku then collapsed to the ground, unconscious. I haven't had a strong fight like this in a long time, not even among the gods. It's rare for someone to force me to use my full power. But anyway, you've reached your limit, warrior, Beerus said, complimenting Goku. Then we see Whis arriving beside him. In Goku's subconscious, he sees water nearby and feels thirsty. He has a vision of his friends, confident in his ability to return to the fight and win. Are you about to give up, Kakarot? Come on, pull yourself together. He feels great after hearing his friend's encouragement. Then he finally regains consciousness. But what happens next is something beyond imagination. Despite his severe injuries, he stands up, and we see a mysterious aura begins to surround him. He reverts to his Ultra Instinct form once again, but this time, something about him is different. In the blink of an eye, Goku returns the child to his home planet, and we notice that he has begun to heal from his previous wounds. He flies past Whis and Beerus, who are still stunned that he managed to stand up again. Goku leads them away from planet Takutaku, flying under a large moon. At this moment, a tremendous amount of energy starts pouring out of his body, drawing planets toward him like a magnet. The upcoming attack will elevate power levels in Dragon Ball to a completely new level. As Goku prepares for the next attack, the planets around him take on the shape of a dragon due to the surrounding aura, making it look like a dragon fist attack. Imagine that even Beerus looks concerned after witnessing this scene. Suddenly, something resembling the Hakai technique surrounds Goku's attack, and a hand heavily touches Goku's shoulder. Be proud, Son Goku. I can barely remember the last time I used this much power, Beerus says, and his appearance seems different, like a true god of destruction. Goku turns to look at him, then quickly escapes his grasp. It's useless. You're as slow as a turtle compared to me now, Beerus comments. Goku takes the Kamehameha stance, preparing to unleash the attack. Whis is impressed by their battle, acknowledges that Beerus respects Goku since he revealed his true destructive form. Beerus readies his body, thrilled, but just as Goku is about to launch the attack, he loses consciousness again and falls. We see humorous expressions on Beerus and Whis' faces as they react to what just happened. Beerus feels regretful because he was beginning to enjoy the fight. Whis comments that this form is difficult to control, even for Goku, and so the rematch between the two ends. Honestly, the fight was exhilarating and delivered satisfying results, as we witnessed Beerus' full destructive power, and his transformation was truly iconic. Suddenly, Beerus realizes that his own planet was also wiped out during the battle, and he yells at Whis. Because of this battle, we can say that the upcoming events will be just as intense and exciting. Goku has finally proven himself as a powerful warrior who can challenge the gods. The oracle fish mumbled in its sleep about an impending danger, and Whis also sensed something troubling during the course of the fight. In any case, it can be said that the peace that will return will only be temporary. In the world of the Kais, Supreme Kai is relaxing near a tree, wondering about the power Goku displayed. His thoughts are interrupted by the arrival of Beerus and Whis. Supreme Kai asks why they're here. Beerus takes Whis' staff and hits the Supreme Kai in his head, telling him to fix his planet. Supreme Kai is shocked by the devastation he sees. Beerus gets annoyed, tells Whis to take Goku to his planet, as Goku's aura is about to run out. They then leave. The events we are about to witness will alter the course of the entire universe. An urgent meeting is currently taking place in the palace of the Grand Priest, where he has gathered all the angels and gods of destruction, except for Beerus and Whis, who are still in the 7th universe. Thank you all for coming, says the Grand Priest, breaking the silence that has settled over the room. You may all be aware of why you are here, but there is something none of you know. However, before I reveal the details, not a single word of this meeting should leave this room. If Lord Zeno finds out, the consequences will be dire. As you know, Android 17 from the 7th universe wished for the restoration of the universes that were erased during the Tournament of Power. The problem is that this resulted in the return of 7 universes that had been erased forever. Campari interrupts him. 7? Weren't there originally 18 universes? The Grand Priest replies, "Not exactly. I haven't mentioned this to any of you before, but there was an additional universe called Universe 0. "Why have you kept this from us, Father?" asks Kusu, as silence and disappointment hang over the gathering. "In truth, I couldn't do anything other than keep this secret," answers the Grand Priest. The group begins to justify their father's decision, reasoning that he kept it hidden as a precaution in case a traitor revealed the secret. "Oh, I should have known," says a cold voice from behind the attendants, causing the Grand Priest to react as if he had seen a ghost. At this moment, a woman enters the room, her appearance resembling that of the attendants. She informs everyone that the one they consider their father is nothing more than a coward, afraid to face his past actions. "Who do you think you are to judge our father like this?" Mojito asks her, before Margarita reminds him that they must remain neutral in such meetings and situations. "Kneel, all of you," the woman commands. "Can't you see how ignorant you are? I never abandoned you. Let me tell you the truth about this traitor." Moments later, we discover the Grand Priest's secret and learn the identity of this woman. We return to Beerus' planet, where Goku seems to be recovering slightly from the wounds of the previous battle. Whis warns him that their last fight went beyond mere training. Goku apologizes for his obsession with defeating Beerus. "Defeating me?" Beerus says with a sarcastic tone. Whis then asks Goku to get up so he can fully heal him, but Goku requests that the wound on his back be left untouched as a reminder that he still owes Beerus. Whis chuckles softly at Goku's words, activates his staff, and in less than a second, Goku's body returns to normal, as if nothing had happened. "Wow, it's just like the Senzu beans," Goku comments on Whis power, saying it would be a useful ability in battles. Whis asks Goku what he plans to do next. Goku admits that he isn't sure yet, as he still needs to learn how to control his power to avoid passing out again. He also thinks there is no transformation stronger than Ultra Instinct, but he leaves further training for later. For now, he plans to return to his wife and children. Goku grabs onto Whis to be transported to Earth. On their way, they have the following conversation. "By the way, Whis, you haven't told me what you'll be doing now?" Goku asks. The angel responds that he has a bad feeling and needs to check something. Goku insists on knowing what exactly is bothering him. "I sense a new presence, an immense power concentrated in one point that wasn't there before," Whis explains. Goku then places his hand on Whis' shoulder and says, "Leave it to me." Whis gives him a cold stare and tells him to remove his hand from his shoulder. Goku looks at him more seriously, refusing to take his hand away. For the first time, Whis shows a terrifying expression, clearly threatening Goku to back off. Goku's aura starts to gather around his hand, as if to send a message that he, too, is as serious as Whis. Whis turns away, saying, "It is not your job to handle the universe's problems." Goku responds, "As if it's the first time I've protected the universe. Don't worry, trust me." Whis agrees, but stipulates that he won't accompany Goku, as he has an urgent summons from the Grand Priest. However, he gives Goku a device similar to the one Zeno gave him earlier. "If you need me, just press the button, and I'll come to you," says Whis. Goku takes the device and thanks him. Whis smiles and says, "If you ask me, there's no need for any of this." "Don't worry, I won't let you down," Goku replies. The two then change course and head toward the mysterious location. "Here we go!" But before Goku can finish his sentence, both he and Whis are stunned by what they see. "What the hell is this?" Goku asks, as the attendant and the Saiyan stand before one of the universe's unknown secrets, Universe 0. We return to the Grand Priest's palace to continue the recent events with the mysterious woman who interrupted the meeting. "I never abandoned you. Let me tell you about the past of this traitor. He committed genocide and thought he was on par with the king of the entire universe," she said, only to be interrupted by the Grand Priest. "That's enough. Stop!" the Grand Priest shouted, unleashing a powerful destructive wave as a threat to silence the attendant from speaking further. All the angels kneel, demanding an explanation from their father. She is indeed an angel, and she is your mother. Everything she said is true and completely honest. The Grand Priest confesses, then continues, the 19th universe she spoke of existed and was incredibly powerful. It unleashed an enormous power that threatened the balance established by the King of All, so I had to act quickly without Lord Zeno's knowledge. The attendants' faces pale, but they show no reaction, as it is their duty to remain neutral no matter what happens. Evil laughter interrupts the Grand Priest's speech. Act quickly? Manipulating the fabric of space-time may seem quick to you, but feeling the passage of time tears apart the corpses of millions of innocents. I wouldn't call it a quick death. It may have taken a second for you, but it was tens of billions of years for us, dear Grand Priest. The Grand Priest replies, as I lack the power of the kings, there was no other solution. Once again, the woman mocks the Grand Priest. Do you hear this? Your father has decided it's wise to justify his brutal actions by not informing the king. But don't blame him. Not everything that happened was his fault, nor even the king's. Throughout the universes, rulers began sensing a massive presence, a power that felt strangely familiar. What we should truly blame is the system in place that forced your father to act this way. At this point, several beings begin descending into the Grand Priest's palace. But these are no ordinary beings. In the next panel, we witness a true breach of darkness, revealing several angels for the first time. What irony! This is amusing, one of them whispers. The feeling of returning to this place is strange, another says. They are the gods and angels of the destroyed universes, Whis remarks, and they respond to him, You're still as stiff as a nail, Whis. I hope you haven't missed us too much. Bow and be respectful. These are the rulers and angels who have returned to life thanks to the Super Dragon Balls and Android 17's wish. Allow me to introduce their names. Balkan, the god of destruction from Universe 13, accompanied by his angel Galleon. Drommel, the god of destruction from Universe 14, accompanied by his angel Xeres. Vilspring, the god of destruction from Universe 15, accompanied by his angel Milada. Magnak, the god of destruction assigned to Universe 16, accompanied by his angel Remtol. And finally, Nisos, the god of destruction assigned to Universe 17, accompanied by his angel Olaros. Look over there, Whis, says Kusu, drawing our attention to some familiar legs. Whis had noticed them earlier too. The person who is about to appear is the ruler of Universe 18. And he will undoubtedly surprise you. A laugh echoes through the room, followed by an iconic entrance. Good evening, gentlemen. I've been looking forward to meeting you, especially as I wanted to personally thank Wista. Frieza appears, now in the attire of a god of destruction, accompanied by his angel Twist, who mocks Frieza saying, See how far your excessive neutrality has taken you? Her comment is aimed at the fact that Frieza is not a neutral person, as he only thanked Whis and ignored the others. Whis looks at him seriously and says that he understands Frieza's full plan. I knew when I brought you back to life that you would do something, but I didn't expect you to go this far. Frieza warns him not to underestimate him, as this is only the beginning. Based on information from Zuno, my army commander informed me about the emergence of new universes. But the shocking part is that Zeno had to erase Universe 18, and its ruler was pitiful to begin with. According to Twist, he disagreed with his universe behavior, which didn't align with the job of destruction. This brings us to a flashback of the former god of destruction of Universe 18 meeting Frieza. Frieza immediately fires a beam at him, barely missing the ruler. Frieza laughs at his mistake while the ruler begs for his life. We then see Frieza finishing his attack and easily eliminating the ruler without any resistance. Frieza is left wondering how this person ever became a god of destruction in the first place. He takes the ruler's outfit and tosses it aside with his tail. Returning to the present, Whis asks Frieza what his goal is in all this, then retracts his question, saying that it's none of his business. Frieza asks Whis if he regrets bringing him back to life. "You're delusional, Frieza. You have no idea where these steps will lead you," Whis replies. Frieza says that all the credit goes to Whis, and he doesn't care about the risks as long as he got this opportunity. Frieza then changes the subject and asks about Goku. At this point, the Grand Priest himself inquires why Frieza is interested in Goku's whereabouts. "Father, I was inspecting Universe Zero before you summoned me, and I agreed to let Goku explore the place. However, I lost contact with him, and he hasn't used the button I gave him. I can't reach him or even sense his presence amidst the dense aura surrounding Universe Zero." "Are you talking about that mortal who came braying like a donkey in our main headquarters? Don't worry, we welcomed him well," says Remitol. The Grand Priest wonders to himself why Universe Zero is keeping Goku, as he is neither on their power level nor poses a threat. However, he leaves open the possibility that Goku knows some important secrets. "Don't be ignorant. You know exactly why we're keeping him hidden." We see Goku completely shackled in chains, isolated and alone in a desolate prison. His body shows clear signs of torture as he screams out, "Come back here, you cowards! What do you want from me?" But unfortunately, his voice doesn't echo beyond the prison walls. Resigned, Goku slumps down, apologizing to Whis for having let him down. Little does Goku know, the future holds far worse than his current state, as a full-scale war between the universes is on the horizon. Back in the palace, the Grand Priest asks, "What are your demands?" This question indicates his willingness to negotiate with them. The God of Destruction from Universe 16, Magnak, responds, "Abolish the hierarchy of gods and rid yourself of that neutrality you're obsessed with enforcing." He then strikes the Grand Priest's throne with his tail. The God of Destruction from Universe 15, Vilspring, adds, "It's your mindset that's holding you back. This hierarchy is what erased the gods while preserving the angels. Knowing this, how can you consider yourself fair and impartial?" We see a scene where the Grand Priest faces the gods directly and time seems to stop in his eyes. Dromail, another god of destruction, interrupts, "No more games. It's time to achieve our goal." The gods all confront the Grand Priest, who remains unmoved, facing them head-on. Despite their united front, the Grand Priest is still the strongest among them. "Oh, and what will you do now? What can you do?" At this moment, the mysterious Mother of the Angels steps forward again, shouting, "The War of the Gods will begin on a multiversal scale. The revolution starts now. Every being, whether mortal or not, will have to choose a side to fight for. Let's fight for a new world with perfect balance." In a swift move, the Grand Priest executes a technique that gathers an immense amount of energy all at once. The gods and angels in front of him can't even move or react, and they freeze in place. The technique is so powerful that it causes the Grand Priest to bleed from his nose, and he collapses to his knees, coughing up blood. Kusu rushes to check on him, but he assures her that everything is fine. The gods and angels are frozen in place, and everyone wonders what the Grand Priest has done. He explains that he has frozen them in space-time and must quickly transport them to Universe Zero and freeze it as well. When asked if this is dangerous for his health, the Grand Priest responds that the situation is too critical to worry about his safety. Whis requests Coquetel to join him in gathering all the Kaioshin, and with Kibito, they will have a total of 14, more than enough to freeze Universe Zero. The duo arrives at the Supreme Kai's planet, where Coquetel greets them and asks if they can handle the responsibility. Kibito acknowledges that the task is not easy, but together, they can succeed. Whis asks everyone to drop the formalities and get to work. We then see the Grand Priest rise, ready to complete the mission. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Z-Fighters are gathered for dinner, all enjoying their time, except for Chi-Chi, who senses that something is wrong with her husband. She quietly leaves the group and heads home, where Videl notices and follows her inside. "Are you okay?" Videl asks, and Chi-Chi begins to cry. "He's just late." "You know him." Videl tries to comfort her. In the next room, we see Gohan changing clothes, preparing to join the dinner with his family and friends. As he approaches the dinner table, he is also puzzled by his father's absence. He sits down next to his wife and mother and notices Chi-Chi's distant, worried expression as she thinks about Goku. Suddenly, Gohan and Piccolo lift their heads, staring intently at something. At the same time, in Universe 11, Jiren is hunting a giant dinosaur. He subdues it, traps it in a net, and easily kills it. As he lands, the same thing that happened to Gohan and Piccolo occurs to Jiren. He suddenly begins staring at the sky in a strange manner. Now, we go to Universe 6, specifically on the planet Geno. Hit is amidst a crowd of creatures in a place that looks like a concert. As we know, Hit is a hired assassin, and it seems he's in the middle of a mission to eliminate one of his targets. He sneaks through the crowd without anyone noticing, and takes out his target in just a few seconds, without even looking back. As he's about to leave again, we see the same reaction from him as well. He looks up in surprise. On planet Sadala, everything seems relatively normal compared to the rest of the universe. Kale and Caulifla are training intensely, aiming to become even stronger. Their training is suddenly interrupted by the arrival of Kaba, who starts to talk about the reason for his visit, before he looks up in confusion. Look, what is that orb? Caulifla asks Kale to check it out, but before she can, something speaks from within it. We then see a scene that connects all four universes and their fighters who noticed the orb earlier: Gohan, Piccolo, Hit, Jiren, and the Saiyans from Universe 6. Imagine that this orb is so massive that it appears in all the universes simultaneously, showcasing the immense power and capabilities of the Grand Priest. I am the Grand Priest of the Multiverse, and I have come to you with direct orders from the one you call God. I announce to all forms of life in existence that an evil angel has rebelled against me, and I have frozen her and her followers for 2 years. A war between the universes will break out in 2 years. Everyone must prepare and decide on which side they will fight. We then see the reactions of everyone to this announcement. "What the hell?" says Caulifla, while Jiren discusses the matter with Toppo. Back on Earth, although everyone is shocked by what is happening, there is a question that concerns them even more than the Grand Priest's speech, one that is even more important than the war in which everyone will participate. Where is Goku? Why hasn't he come back? Could the Grand Priest's announcement be related to his disappearance? Finally, Vegeta appears at the dinner table, and everyone asks him about Goku. He responds that he thought Goku was with them. After dinner, everyone returned to their homes. At Capsule Corporation, the following conversation took place between Bulma and Vegeta. "We need to get organized and prepare for the next 2 years, Vegeta." Vegeta replied, "Yes, and everyone should determine their role and goal in this battle. Speaking of which, we need to find that guy Broly. He has great potential and will be useful. Can you go and bring him along with his 2 friends, the orange one and the green one?" "They have names, Vegeta," Bulma retorted. "It doesn't matter. I'll send Gohan, Goten, and Trunks to meet with Whis," Vegeta concluded, ending their conversation. Meanwhile, in a distant mountain area, Piccolo was fully immersed in his meditation training before he was interrupted by some unknown individuals. However, it seemed that Piccolo recognized them, as he asked if they needed his assistance with something. In the next panel, we see Bulma yelling at Jocko over the phone because he claimed he was too busy to bring Broly. To be fair, Bulma was right this time. A war between all the universes is about to start, so what could be more important for a galactic patrolman? Jocko reluctantly agreed after having his eardrum nearly shattered by Bulma's shouting. Vegeta chuckled to himself, thinking, "When she's angry, not even the greatest warriors can stop her." Vegeta then left the room, holding his daughter in his arms. He saw Gohan and Videl sitting outside in the garden. Gohan called out to him, "Hey Vegeta, things seem pretty intense in there," referring to Bulma's yelling. Suddenly, Bra began to cry as well, and Vegeta remarked, "If only it were just happening inside." Videl asked Vegeta to hand over the baby so she could calm her down and keep her company for a while, to which Vegeta thanked her. He then joined Gohan at the table. "Gohan, what do you plan to do during these 2 years? Will you be training or studying?" Gohan replied that he would be doing both. "In that case, I have a suggestion for you," Vegeta said. "How about training with Whis? Kakarot is training with him too, and knowing both of them, they'd be happy if you joined them as well. Your younger brother Goten and also Trunks mentioned that they'll be going to see Whis too. Gohan politely declined the offer, saying he had his own plans for the next 2 years. As for Trunks and Goten, Goku had already told him about the hyperbolic time chamber, which Gohan thought was a good idea. Vegeta responded, "I'll handle that. You should go see Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. Do you have any idea what they can do?" Gohan took a moment to think before replying with excitement, "Yes, I've found it!" He then flew off to Krillin's house, greeted Krillin's family, and asked if he knew where Yamcha and Tien were. "You're in luck. They're inside," Krillin said. Gohan then informed him that he had a plan for training over the next 2 years, but Krillin didn't seem enthusiastic, as if something was weighing on his mind. Just then, Gohan's phone rang. He was surprised to see Vegeta calling him so soon. He answered the call, and Vegeta, holding Whis' staff, said, "I'm with Whis, and he just told me that Kakarot was in Universe Zero when the Grand Priest froze it." Everyone was instantly shocked by the news. Gohan and the others froze in place, unable to say a word. Goku, Earth's primary source of strength, had been frozen and might not be able to participate in the upcoming training and preparations. Returning to Piccolo, the visitors who came to see the Namekian were his own kind. They expressed their desire to unite their powers, but Piccolo seemed unconvinced. He believed that each of them could contribute something unique to the upcoming war. Piccolo then stood up and said, "All right, but before that, I have something I need to take care of." On planet Vampa, at the same time, a Capsule Corporation ship landed. Broly, Chilai, and Lemo greeted the arrivals, Bulma and Jocko, who had come from Earth. Bulma stepped out of the ship and walked toward Broly, seeing him for the first time. She commented that she hadn't expected him to be so tall and muscular. Chilai, showing a hint of jealousy, asked, "So what do you want from us?" Bulma replied, "You saw the black sphere in the sky, didn't you?" Lemo answered, "Yeah, so you saw that strange dream too?" Bulma was puzzled by his words. "Dream? What dream? That wasn't a dream, it was the Grand Priest." Lemo responded, "Oh yeah, the 3 of us had the same weird dream." Bulma and Jocko were astonished by this, and Bulma realized that at the time the black sphere appeared, Lemo and Chili must have been asleep. So the Grand Priest communicated his message to them through a dream. It must have been the only way to inform billions of sleeping beings at that time. The 3 were amazed that a war was on the verge of breaking out. Suddenly, Bulma's phone rang. She picked it up. It was Whis, and he had bad news. The news must have been shocking because Bulma's face suddenly looked as if she had seen a ghost. Meanwhile, at Krillin's house, Gohan was trying to convince his friends about the plan he had prepared. "Guys, even without my father here, we still have a role to play, and I know what kind of training is right for you." Krillin responded with a tone of despair. "Gohan, I understand the situation, but I didn't do much in the last Tournament of Power. I didn't even face the most dangerous warriors. So how do you think I can be useful in this war against the strongest beings in all the universes? I wish I could give you a hopeful speech like Goku would, but I'm not in his league." Master Roshi agreed and added, "I've been training for about 350 years, and I don't see how much further I can go beyond this." Krillin seemed to be considering staying with his wife and daughter, Marin. Gohan, however, looked at them with a completely serious face. "For years, Son Goku has protected us and sacrificed his life to protect the weak without hesitation. If you want to stay with your families, then stay, but my father and billions of others are counting on us and need our help." Unlike Master Roshi and Krillin, Yamcha and Tien agreed to join since they had no responsibilities holding them back. Android 18 then stood up and asked her husband to talk to her in private. The two moved to the next room. "Krillin, I know you want what's best for us above all else, but this isn't just about our lives." "I know, but," Krillin began to say before his wife interrupted him. "Listen, I support you no matter what. If you choose to fight, I'll fight. If you choose to stay, I'll stay." Back at Capsule Corporation, Trunks was having difficulty saying goodbye to his little sister, but Vegeta ordered him to get on the ship immediately. They left the room, and we saw a touching scene of Vegeta saying goodbye to his daughter, telling her that he would definitely come back to her. Bulma's father, holding the little girl, assured Vegeta that it was no problem for him to take care of her since she was his granddaughter, and besides, he had plenty of free time. Finally, we see them getting ready to leave and begin their training. We return to Gohan's side, where it seems that all the Z fighters are about to head off for training, except for Master Roshi and Android 18, who will stay behind to take care of her daughter. Krillin has made his decision to participate in the war, and the four of them fly off to meet Vegeta. Whis appears proud of all the warriors who have come to fight for the universes, acknowledging that while they will all follow different paths in their training, they share the same goal: to protect everyone, restore peace, and prove that they can fight even without Goku, who has always protected them over the years. Whis asks, "Is everyone here?" Gohan replies, "Yes, let's start with Universe 9. Vegeta is surprised and asks, "Universe 9? What's on your mind?" Gohan smirks and says, "Of course, Yamcha, Tien, and Krillin will go meet the trio of danger. I haven't contacted them yet, but I'm sure they'll agree." Krillin and Tien already know their level from having seen them in the Tournament of Power. Yamcha has a basic idea about them and comments, "I'm not impressed by your trio of danger, I'll handle them myself." Tien warns him not to be overconfident, while Gohan and Krillin laugh at his remark. They board the cube ship and launch off from Earth. Why did Gohan choose that place? Trunks wonders as the group travels from one destination to another, with each warrior being dropped off in the universe they chose to train in for the next 2 years. "I have no idea," replies Goten. The next destination we see them arrive at is Planet Satella in Universe 6, a planet full of Saiyans, something Goten and Trunks have never experienced before as they were born after planet Vegeta was destroyed. Vegeta is the first to exit the cube, and one of the planet's inhabitants is astonished to see him. "Wait, are you a Saiyan?" he asks. "What did you say? A Saiyan? I'm your prince, you idiot!" Vegeta replies, appearing behind him in a flash and striking him in the neck. The other Saiyans get angry and prepare to fight the prince, but Vegeta taunts them, saying, "A man with one arm, another with one eye, and a whole army of weaklings. That's not even worth 1,000th of my power. Am I really going to stoop to this level?" "Look, Goten, it's Beerus's planet," Trunks points out. "It's smaller than I expected, but having your own planet is pretty cool." As Beerus lies back, enjoying his meal, he notices Whis and the others approaching. He immediately stands up, ready to refuse the Saiyans landing on his planet. "What the hell, Whis?" Beerus exclaims. Whis chuckles and says, "Come on, Lord Beerus, be a little lenient." Beerus angrily responds, No, I'm not interested at all. This isn't a playground for Saiyan kids. Please, take them back home. I don't want kids around me. I'm not a babysitter." Goten, clearly upset by Beerus's words, as he was serious about this training to save his father, snaps back, "A playground for kids? Are you serious? My dad could be dead." Beerus dismissively retorts, "In another tune, mortal. Your father is the last of our priorities in a war like this. Anyway, a reckless guy like him was bound to die sooner or later." Goten becomes increasingly angry, unable to control himself, and charges at Beerus with all his strength, disregarding everything else. Beerus is also surprised, not expecting a child to dare attack the god of destruction. Luckily, Trunks intervenes quickly, preventing Goten from throwing his life away with a single strike from Beerus. "Get out of my way, Trunks," Goten says angrily. At this moment, we see Beerus's expression completely change, and his patience begins to wear thin. The aura surrounding him and the air around him suddenly starts to darken. In the blink of an eye, we see Goten flying through the sky after being grabbed and thrown by Beerus toward one of the small planets. "Stop yelling," Beerus commands. A single blow completely incapacitates Goten, who can barely open his eyes but refuses to give up. "It's not over yet," he mutters. Beerus flies again in an instant, grabs Goten by the face, and prepares to use the Hakai technique, which would completely erase the boy from existence. However, at the last second, he changes his mind and instead knocks Goten unconscious with a flick of his finger. "Whis, I'm still not convinced about having guests on my planet. Train them somewhere else, Beerus says. Yes, Lord Beerus, Whis replies. We return to Universe 9, specifically to the planet Calaminte. Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha try to communicate with the inhabitants, but it's clear that the locals don't understand human language. Amid the crowds, the trio of danger, Bergamo, Lavender, and Basil, notice the Earthlings from afar. They suspect that these newcomers are responsible for the black sphere that appeared in the sky. Meanwhile, in Universe 6, Vegeta has effortlessly defeated all the Saiyans who stood in his way. Caulifla, shocked to see her comrades defeated, is even more surprised to see Vegeta on her planet. Far from planet Sadala, in space, a Capsule Corporation ship piloted by Galactic Patrolman Jaco arrives in Universe 6. It seems their destination is also planet Sadala. We begin to understand Vegeta's plan. He intends for Broly to reunite with his fellow Saiyans and train with them to develop his power more rapidly. Elsewhere, in Universe 11, preparations are underway for a ritual that will change the course of the upcoming events entirely. Lord Belmod will not lose his destructive power. After all, he has served as a god of destruction for a long time, approximately 3 million years, and his immortality remains intact as long as he holds his position. Toppo, wearing the attire of a god of destruction, is shocked by this revelation. Will I die? Who knows? In any case, I've lived much longer than my people. I haven't told you enough, but you three are great warriors who have earned my respect, Belmod says. Toppo respects his master's wishes and proudly understands that his time has come to fulfill his duty. He declares that he is ready, and the ritual to transfer power begins. With a strike of her staff, 2 giant statues appear, and the ceremony officially starts. The statues begin to drain the immortality and power from Belmod and transfer it to Toppo. Suddenly, something catches everyone's attention. A being falls on the other side of the area. Dispo quickly runs to check it out, and when he reaches the spot, his expression changes to one of surprise. Back at the main event, the statues show Belmod now appearing frail and elderly, as if all his energy has been drained. In contrast, Toppo is in peak condition, radiating the power of immortality and the energy of a god of destruction. Margarita asks Toppo how he feels, and he replies that he is fine, but then notices Belmod's pitiable state. He approaches Belmod, kneels beside him, and cries out his master's name. At this moment, Dispo returns with someone accompanying him. It's Gohan, who has chosen to train in Universe 11. Gohan is stunned by the energy emanating from Toppo, while Toppo gives him a deadly stare. I'm not sure what's happening here, but time is of the essence. I believe you have much to offer me, Gohan says, and with that, we conclude the first part of Dragon Ball Kakumei. Stay tuned for the second part, it's coming soon. Until then, I wish you all good health and everything you desire in life. Peace.